Hello everyone. The next couple of videos are going to be me showing my 360 collection, which is right behind me if you can see. Each video will be doing a different shelf and telling you my thoughts on a couple of the games. I want to give you all a brief little history about my how I started collecting 360 games and all that. Back in 2006, when the Xbox 360 came out, I got my first part-time job and saved up my first couple of paychecks and went out and bought a 360. The first game I bought for the 360 was, I bought it before I even bought my 360, was The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and that's just a game I couldn't get into. It kind of disappointed me, one of my first games I bought for the system, but what can you do? And then when I finally bought the system, the next game I bought was Dead or Alive 4, and that was an okay fighting game, just a little too difficult for me. So ever since that, I've just been playing games like crazy, buying games, and it's just been one of my hobbies I love to do. And Xbox 360 is the system I prefer to play my games on. As you'll see later, my collection of my 360 is way bigger than my PS3. Okay, we're gonna start off with Afro Samurai. It's a pretty good action adventure game based off the anime. I personally think the anime is better, and I think you should give it a chance if you haven't seen it yet. But it's a pretty good game. Alan Wake is a game that blew my mind when it first came out. I haven't played any game like this, and this game takes you on a wild ride. It's a fun game if you guys haven't played it. Alone in the Dark is... I've never been like the biggest fan of Alone in the Dark games, but this one will not get you into the series if you run out and play it. It's not a very good game. Next up is The Amazing Spider-Man. This is a really good... It's one of the better Spider-Man games. My favorite one still being Ultimate Spider-Man back on the GameCube and PS2, but this is a pretty fun game to play if you love Spider-Man. Now, next up is the Assassin's Creed series. I do have Assassin's Creed 1 and 3, but they're in my brother's room at the moment. Assassin's Creed 1 is... It's a good game, it just gets really repetitive after a while. And Assassin's Creed 3, I've only played a little bit of it, so I can't give you a full review of it. Then we have Assassin's Creed 2 right here, which is my personal favorite in the series. This game just improved upon everything in the first Assassin's Creed, and the story in this game it's crazy. Then we got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Another one, I still haven't completed this game, but just the same old Assassin's Creed formula. Then we have Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I haven't played. Pretty much the same as the other ones, I'm assuming now. Next is Battlefield Bad Company. I've never played it. It's my brother's game. I don't even know what it's doing down here, to be honest. Next up, we have one of the best superhero games ever made, Batman Arkham Asylum. This one is my favorite. I think it's even better than Arkham City. Arkham City, just another really fun Batman game. If you haven't played it, you should go out there and get it. Bayonetta is a good Devil May Cry ripoff game, and I know the second one's coming out, but it's only coming out on the Wii U, which I'm not too excited about. Big Bumpin', just one of those Burger King games, just cheap little game. Just popped in once, really haven't played it too much. Next is BioShock, my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite series on the 360, and also one of my favorite games. I still think it's the best one in the series. BioShock 2 just continues. It's probably my least favorite if I had to pick, but it's still a really good game. Next is BioShock Infinite, and if you haven't played this game, you gotta run out and get this game right now. This has one of the best video game endings I've ever seen in a game, and just look at this alternate artwork on here. Just a great game. Next up is Blue Dragon. I tried to play through it a couple times, and I just couldn't get very far. I couldn't even get past the first disc, so that's all I have to say about that. Borderlands, just a fun game, just play with friends. Borderlands 2 even increased upon that. This is an overall better game, and there's so much DLC coming out for this game right now, it's ridiculous. Bourne Conspiracy. This is actually a really good game based on the Robert Lundon's Bourne series and the book series and the movies. It's fun to play through and just a great action game. Brutal Legend is a game I really couldn't get into. It just couldn't bring me in. Burnout Revenge is just a fun game. You just want to pop in and just go do some mayhem with cards. It's a great game. Next is Call of Duty 2. I'm really not a big fan of the Call of Duty series, but these ones I didn't mind too much. Call of Duty 2 was okay. It was one of the first games released for the 360, and it wasn't that bad. Call of Duty 3, pretty much the same thing as Call of Duty 2. Then you have World at War. Just not really a big fan of these games at all. Next is Castlevania. This game wasn't too bad. Didn't live up to the hype as I thought, but it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun action adventure game. Surprisingly, I've never played the Chronicles of Riddick. I picked it up on Black Friday a couple years ago for pretty cheap, and I just never really played it. Condemned: Criminal Origins is one of the best games on 360. I beat this game in a day, and I just couldn't stop playing it. It's really good. Next is Condemned 2. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but it's still a pretty good game. Crackdown is a great game. Everyone originally bought it for the Halo 3 beta, but it turned out being one of my favorite games early on. Right about now, I wouldn't list it in a top 10 list or anything, but it's a great game. Crysis 2. I've never played any of the Crysis series. One day I have to get around to playing this. Darkness is one of my favorite comic book-esque games on the 360. This game it's one of the best first-person shooters and has one of the best stories. Darkness 2 is another underrated game that a lot of people didn't really pick up and play, but you should go give it a second chance because it's a really good game. Dark Sector is another underrated gem, I think. I personally love this game, how you can direct the boomerang right here. He's just a fun character. Darksiders, it's an okay game. I haven't played too much of it, so I can't really say too much about it, but it was fun. Dark Void was not the best game ever, but it was okay. It's just a straight action adventure game, third-person shooter. Nothing great. Deadly Premonition is just a fun game if you want to sit around and laugh, because it's pretty low budget, and just the voice acting in this game can make you laugh. Dead Island is a great game. I bought this Black Friday last year, and I finally started playing it. I beat it a couple months ago, and right before Riptide came out, and this is just a fun game. You can put a lot of hours into this game, and it's just really fun. Then you have Riptide. This one I haven't played yet because I wanted to take a little break after I beat Dead Island. I want to jump right into another one because that one was really time consuming, but hope to one day get around to this game. I've heard okay things about it, but as long as it's the same as the first one, don't have any problems with it. Thanks for watching, everyone.